It's a legit holiday.
That was not the same voice I did before.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Welcome back to another legit holiday. Today we are talking about our hotel experience, like our full review.
And we stay at every room on property.
Yeah,
So come get lost with us in some roomy goodness.
In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart.
welcome back to Legit Holidays. A part of our celebration is recognizing the people in our community and around the world that do amazing work. And today we are going to be talking about
Make-A-Wish, which is an organization that grants game-changing wishes to children with critical illnesses. They grant these life-changing wishes for children to go through because they're already going through so much. For a wish kid, just the act of making their wish come true can give them the courage to comply with their medical treatments. And parents might finally feel some optimism. They hope to grant the wish of every eligible child.
So make sure you guys check out the comments below where we'll have a link where you guys can donate directly and a link where you can check out how you can help make a Make-A-Wish child's dream come true in your local community. So let's get to the video. Hello there. We are back for another hotel review and room tour here at the Residence Inn in Columbia, South Carolina. So let's go take a look around. So we got a 1-bedroom suite. So this hotel has 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, and studios. And the only one that they had for us was a 1-bedroom. So right off the bat, when you walk in, you're going to come into the main area. So we've got a queen size pull out couch here, which pulls out into a bed.
Giggity.
And then we've got the workstation over here that Gary is already working away. And it's actually, I have to say, for all of the workstations that we have had in hotel rooms, this one is by far the largest of all of the workstations. And what's nice about it is that they have USB plugs and actual plugs, so you can just plug in your USB cords for some of your devices, and you don't have to use so many bricks, as they're called. We do have one little lamp over here, and we've got a view of the pool. Now, the pool is not open right now, only the hot tub and the grill and the fire pit, I believe, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So that is the main living room. As you can see, we've got like a nice little footstool. I'm going to give you guys kind of like another view, because one of the things I will say about this room is the lighting. You can hear, and the walls are very thin. You can literally hear everybody. But the couch is actually pretty comfortable. We sat on it last night, and yes, we did go to Publix and we did kind of already stock the room, but that's because when we got here last night, the room was so dark, we couldn't film, so we were like, well, let's see what it looks like in the morning, and honestly, not much different at all. So coming over here, we've got a nice little bar table, which I think is really nice. Most of the extended stays that we've stayed in, they kind of combine the workstation with the table. So while I'm not really a big fan of bar stools, it's actually pretty comfy. It's not bad. And I can appreciate that they gave us a little light here, as you can see, and it comes with 2 chairs. And now we're gonna come over here into the kitchen area, and they do put the like linoleum floor down, so if you have a spill or something, it's not going into the carpet. We've got a dishwasher. They did give us a coffee maker. We've got a decent sized sink. If you guys look at my video from my last day in Columbia, the sink was about half this size. And then we also have a toaster back here. We've got a 4-burner stove, and that's pretty unheard of when it comes to extended stays. And again, there's not really any light over here, so it's really hard to kind of see. We do have a pretty decently sized microwave. It's not a convection oven microwave like it was at my last hotel. And then this is why I like extended stays for the most part, is that they come with dishes, so you don't really have to think about having plates and cups and all of that. They pretty much kind of come with a set of 4 of everything from cups to glasses, silverware, and then some basic cooking utensils. They also provide you paper towels, well, obviously toilet paper at every hotel, and then trash bags too. And one interesting thing is they usually will give you stuff for your dishwasher and stuff to wash dishes, so that's always nice. And then you're never gonna get like the best silverware, but it looks like we only have 2 forks. Yep, we got 2 forks, but that's okay, there's only 2 of us. This one doesn't have anything. As you can see, like some basic cooking utensils. You got some measuring spoons, you got a peeler, you got an oven mitt. Why? There's no oven. And then in here, it's gonna be really hard to see, but we've got a pot and a pan. We got 1 of each, folks, 1 of each. Which, the one I stayed at last time actually came with quite a few, so that was pretty nice. But I feel like here they could really like put some shelving or put some like track lighting or something in this space. Moving over to the freezer. It does have an ice maker in the freezer. And my last hotel had an ice maker, but it also had a bucket too. This hotel, they told me that we have to take this over to the ice machine if we want to get ice from the ice machine. Fun fact. And then we did hit up Publix, as you can see, and we stocked up on some of our favorite drinks here in the South. I got my coffee, got some Cheerwine, got some Publix tea and lemonade, and then some bottled water. Nothing too crazy in there. And then right over here we have like a little storage closet. And in the storage closet, you've got the ironing board and your iron. And then I am storing my workbook bag and my suitcase in here, so it's kind of out of the way. But it's actually a pretty spacious closet, and it's also got hangers too, so that's nice. So if you were staying here for a really long time, you've got some extra storage you can use. We're going to go into the bedroom, and this is why it's a 1-bedroom suite, because it is separated with a door, so you can close the door if somebody wants to be out there working. Or we stayed in another 1-bedroom suite when I had my surgery in Phoenix, so it was kind of nice to I could go to sleep and I could rest while my husband could be out watching TV or doing whatever he needed to do. So that's what makes it a 1-bedroom suite. And then the 1-bedrooms come with a queen size bed. Again, we got in last night, so that's why the bed's a little but it is very narrow. The walk space between the bed and the dresser is like barely enough for me to kind of walk through without having to go sideways. We do have another nice view of the pool over here. It's not a very big pool, as you can see, but again, got a nice little view. It actually, I think if it was nice and clean and open, this would be a great view. And then way over there you can see the grill, so that's kind of nice. But both sides of the bed have their own little nightstand vanity, and again with the plugs and the USB, and then they've got like a little sconce on both sides. And then of course there's a TV in here, and you've got a dresser with 3 drawers. Again, it's kind of hard. The functionality of this is a little weird because you can't really access it except from on the sides. So that was a little funny for us. And then again over here on this side, got another nightstand. And we bought this fan on Amazon. It is a chargeable portable fan that completely collapses in on itself. So, who knows, maybe down the road we'll review it and we'll let you know what we thought. But we were kind of tired of staying in hotels that didn't have fans, so we were going to try it out this trip. So that's just kind of a little one-off there. And then coming in here is the bathroom space. So I will say it looks aesthetically pleasing. Hello. With the lighting in this area. Like, this area is well lit. This area is not well lit, because all we have is this light, and when you close the door, it's pretty dark in here. Like, it's not very bright at all. But I will say the shower head is pretty nice. And then they do provide you with a little bit of toiletries, not a whole lot, but there's not really a whole lot of shelf here. You've got that little shelf, and that's about it. But overall, it wasn't a bad shower. The water gets really, really hot. It just doesn't have a lot of water pressure, unfortunately. Okay, so coming back out here, we do have a closet space with a mirror, and it's like on a barn. It's like on a barn door type thing. And honestly, yeah, no, it only goes one. I thought maybe like there was actually two, because it has this piece in here that looks like it's on the top of this piece, but got a full-length mirror, so that's nice. So you can do an appropriate fit check. And then we've also got 2 more drawers here. And then they did provide us with several hangers, which is really nice. And I decided to use this space to hang my toiletry bag. And then again, we've got some more space up here. And then you got another little pocket space back here in the back of the closet. So yeah, so this is the bedroom. And there's Gary. Say hi, Gary.
Hi, Gary.
But yeah, so that is the 1-bedroom suite here at the Residence Inn. So we were super exhausted last night, like so tired, because we left Las Vegas at like 3 in the morning and we got in at 7 p.m. Eastern time, and jet lag is a thing, and it is an even worse thing, I think, the older you get. So we were exhausted last night, and I have to say, I think I slept okay, but again, I was really, really tired, so I'm really hoping to see how it progresses over the next 2 weeks that we're gonna be here. But I have to say, I didn't wake up with any aches and pains. I didn't wake up with my neck hurting like it does when I'm home. So I have to say, overall, so far, the bed has been pretty comfortable, and the room stays appropriately cool as well, because we had the door closed last night and the vent was still working. So the room still stayed really nice and cool, and we had our fan going, so the air was circulating. So I have to say, it was not a bad bed experience, because sometimes your bed's either really close to the vent if you're in one big room, or it's far away and it just kind of gets hot because the air never kind of makes it over to that side of the room. So I have to say, overall, the bed and the bedroom was a pleasant stay last night. So I'm excited to kind of experience it over the next 13 days.
So again, there's a lot of main hallways here that are kind of stretchy and go on for seemingly ever. Crazy. Red room. Alright, so here is the main lobby area. There's the elevators right there. And that was one main entrance we just saw. And this is the actual check-in area over here. So I'll show you that in a sec, but there's a nice little check-in area over here where the breakfast is as well. Here is the business center. It's got 2 computers. One of them looks like it's not working, and then there is a printer. No scanner though. Alright, there's your ice machine. It's actually all the way by the front. I'll check on the other floors, but if you're on the first floor, this is all the way by the front check-in area. So the joys of the South, they do close pools for the season. But when it is open, it's open from 8 to 10. Alright, so here's the pool area. It's pretty nice. Nice and spacious. It is closed for the season, so I can't actually go in it. But there's the pool. I'll try to find the spa later. Oh wait, I'll try to find the spa. It's literally right in front of me. So you'll see there's the little spa there. That's apparently still open, but the pool is closed. Alright, so here's the outside. You will see that it's right by the main interstate, so it's kind of nice and accessible from the interstate. Not too bad. Gotta love the South, everybody. It's gonna be a little backlit, I think. Sure enough. It's a fairly big complex. Alright, it's just a fun little hiccup as I continue to film. I'm amazed by the South and asking if it's okay to tape where we're staying. So just an interesting experience here as usual. You always find some fascinating things when you stay at different hotels. But here is the interstate that's like literally right by the road. Now one thing to note, it is quiet here though, so you don't really hear the interstate stuff. And there's a bunch of U-Haul trucks down there. So I'm guessing there's a U-Haul rental somewhere around here. There's a Cracker Barrel, like literally walking distance from this hotel as well. So I'm out in the back of the complex, and there's like a basketball court back here, you can see. But there's nothing actually playable on the basketball court. It looks like this place is in the middle of a remod, so they're kind of doing some stuff here. So maybe the basketball court's coming back. I don't know, but there's no actual hoop on that basket. Here's the backside too, in case you want to see what the backside looked like. Pretty standard looking. They are doing some remodels here, and I think they're doing the roofing today, so it is a little bit noisy. Here is the king. I think this is considered like a king. I don't even know what they're called. It's not a suite. King loft or something. The TV just turned itself on, everybody. So by the door there is a little closet with a blanket and some kind of like covers. There's no pillow though for the fold-out couch, so there's a fold-out couch in this one, but again, no pillow for it. So in this one it is a little better stocked. There's a few sets of silverware and a knife, and then we have matching cups in this one and some other stuff. It's definitely interesting at this place. The one thing I can say about these rooms is this is a huge desk. It is nice that they gave us a second light for this one. There is a light here, a little worker light. So it is a little brighter in this room, but we'll see what it looks like at night, because the last room was almost pitch black. I mean, like, it was ridiculously difficult to see. Even during the day, I would have to bring out my phone and use that to be able to see some of the plugs and stuff on my laptop. All right, so here's the bed area. It is a king suite this time, which is nice. You do get a side table on one side, a little difficult to see, and then there's a small side table on the other side as well. We are on the other side of the hotel this time. Yay! So we do have some different views, and it is nice being on the top floor. So if you get this, you actually get put on the top floor. There's the interstate over there. In our last room, we didn't hear the interstate. We could definitely hear our neighbors though, so it'll be interesting in this room if we hear the interstate. You see in this as well, it has a little bar stool area. So instead of like that little table, this one actually has a bar stool area. There's our kitchen, microwave. Still got the 4 burners on the top, so not too bad. All right, then we move to this little bathroom area. There is no door, again, on the outside of the bathroom, so if someone comes in the morning and uses the sink, as you'll see, the king-size bed is right there. So that does wake everybody up when they use the bathroom in the morning. But again, back to this bathroom area. It's actually a little bit bigger than the other one was, it seems. Just a tad bit bigger. You have more space on both sides of the countertop, so that's nice. The closet is about the same size, maybe a little bit smaller, but it works better. The hanging door in the other one only went in the middle and didn't go to either end, so it was kind of annoying to figure out. But this is a nice little closet. You have, again, another storage space with a couple drawers. And then we go to this bathroom area. This toilet area is actually bigger than the other one was. You get a glass sliding door instead of a cheap little curtain thing to go over it, which is nice. The door does close this time, so you'll see. still pretty close to the toilet. So if you're sitting on it, it is really close. So again, you might not be able to close it when you're in here, but the space is slightly bigger. You'll see that the bathroom has a little seat and a handle. In comparison to the other one, it didn't have that. It had a handle on the outside, and it was definitely a little bit smaller of a bathtub. This one seems a little bit nicer, honestly, bathtub-wise. So this is one of the worst parts about these hotel rooms, is this thing. It's a fluorescent light bulb, so if it gets cold, it basically does this every time. So if you go to take a shower and it's late at night, it's kind of like one of those horror movies where the lights click on and you've got a couple minutes to run before the guy with the big axe comes after you. But the shower's nice. I actually like this bathroom setup just a little bit better than the other one we were just in. And you'll see on the counters too, they have these side pieces as well to store some things. So now that we've taken a look at both of the rooms, let's take a look around the hotel. All right, so here's the gym for everybody. There is a bike.
3 treadmills.
3 treadmills, one a different brand than the other. They're different style. A little clock, and then they do have some free weights and some bouncy balls. Decent.
Also looks like they got some bands.
Decent amount of free weights here. Not bad. Let's take a look at the bands.
We got kettlebells.
Someone has to let me know in the comments, what do you do with the big balls other than sit on them? Giggity.
And medicine balls, and then we got foam rollers.
Nice.
Not bad. This is actually a pretty decent exercise room, I have to say.
Yeah, I like
And
that.
there's towels and water. And then there's a TV. And it looks like there's TVs in all the
Yeah,
equipment. There's even a tiny little scale.
and the TV's actually working, which is rare. And a little like exercise kind of general thing. Not too bad. Macy's weighing herself. Let's take a look at this thing. You even have like little exercises outlined for the fancy machine. Pretty cool. And here's your little market in case you need to grab something really quick. There's a guy standing there looking at it.
The bands aren't bad.
Here's the outside fire pit area. It's actually really nice. It's right by the main entrance. There's a nice little fire pit. There's the pool. And then down there, there's a couple more tables. In the morning, you actually see a lot of people eating and drinking their coffee out here. At night, it's pretty dead though. You can hear the highway from out here, so just know that.
There's no
$2 to wash, $2 to dry. See.
Well, we've been here now about 10 days, and it has not been the best 10 days ever.
Right, yeah. This is definitely an interesting hotel. So let's start with some of the cons first, and then we'll hit some of the pros at the end.
So many cons, and I apologize in advance. We try not to be negative Nancy's when it comes to these things, but from the get-go, from our check-in process, it was slow.
Yeah, let's talk about, since check-in process, we'll talk about staffing issues. So we pulled up the first night. We probably waited in the lobby about 15 or 20 minutes for the person to come to the counter. The funny thing was, she was just in the room next to us. She just saw us come in, chose not to get up and do anything, and just kind of sit there. Went to work out at like 3 a.m. There was just this random guy in the lobby. He's like, hey, you know where anybody is? And I'm like, I don't work here, but sometimes they sleep in that room. He was there for at least another 20 or 30 minutes, though, like just trying to find someone to take care of him.
It's a continual thing here is that the staff is for the most part, is not responsive. And I've been up at the front desk in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. There's not anybody permanently seated up at the front desk. So that's a bit of an issue.
So then we had a pillow issue. So we wanted to get more pillows for our room, so we asked for more pillows. And then that took
2 days.
They didn't even show up. They didn't even bother coming the first time. They told us there's a shortage of pillows with the hotel, so we might not be able to get you any. So we waited, no one came. So the next day we did the same thing again. We went up there, hey, we'd like a couple extra pillows. I think we were able to get them, but it took multiple attempts and multiple times. And then we moved into this new room. We had the same issue with the sewer problem. So we're going to talk about a little bit later the stinkiness of it. But someone came, she sprayed Febreze, said that a plumber would be coming the next day. And guess what? No one showed again. So tomorrow, if we wanted to, we'd have to go down there. But it's just not worth our time to bother with this stuff because we have other things to do. We don't want to just be following up with hotel staff and waiting in the room to make sure that they show up to do what they say they're going to do.
And we've been in this room now 4 days. And it has not been cleaned or serviced at all.
Yep.
Don't really know what's going on with that, but we haven't gotten fresh towels. We haven't gotten the bed made, the sheets changed, none of that. And we've been in this room for 4 days. So that's...
And they claim they're on a 7-day cleaning schedule now, but every 2 days they're supposed to come. They'll make your bed if you want them to, pick up your towels and give you fresh towels and empty the trash cans. They don't do that. And if you miss that second day, they don't come back for another 2 days.
Yeah.
So just know that ahead of time. Not very good when it comes to staff issues.
And the trash pickup is a bit interesting. They typically, you put your trash outside your door in the morning, and they typically don't come back through to pick it up until 3 or 4 in the evening.
If they do at all. There was a Bojangles bag down the hallway when I went to work out at 3 a.m. It was still there the next evening. And it was there till the next morning. So they don't always pick up the trash outside the door either.
And we're now on the 3rd floor. I think they were a little bit more
Yes.
apt on the 1st floor when we were
sure.
in our first room because I think there's more foot traffic on the 1st floor with people coming and going.
Yep.
But not so much on the 3rd floor. It's definitely a little bit more abandoned.
So let's talk about the rooms are supposed to be renovated. All right. And there are paper thin walls.
Yeah.
You can hear the TVs in the hallway. You can hear their neighbors next door to you. One of ours had a fight last Saturday, and you could hear the whole conversation.
Yeah.
The walls are really, really paper thin here.
Mm-hmm. And you can hear children screaming, crying, and as you walk through, walk down the halls, you can hear them. Mm-hmm. And it's not quiet by any means here, at all.
And then the toilet seat, it's supposed to be a renovated room. The toilet seat is missing pieces to it. And there's some mold growing in the underneath side of it.
Yeah.
I don't really understand why. The door to the bathroom doesn't close at all in this room. It's misaligned on the rail, so it won't actually close at all. And it's already a tight enough space. If you're sitting on the toilet, you can't close the door to begin with. So it's kind of really weird when it comes to the renovations.
Agreed. And this room, the floor is really dirty for some reason.
Yeah. There's a weird spot right next to the bed. I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, we're just going to pretend it's not there. But that's best in these situations. You're stuck and you got to sleep and you got to live in it. So we just try to do the best we can.
So let's talk a little bit about the first room.
So the first room that we got, so originally my booking was for a 1-bedroom suite. So this property has 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, and studios. And 1 bedroom was all they had to book. It was decently priced, so that's why we went with it. And the layout of the room is kind of interesting. And the bathroom is the same in both rooms. There's 2 people can't occupy that space. If somebody needs to get up early in the morning and get dressed and take a shower or even just go to the bathroom, it bothers the person that's in the bed because there's no way to block off the sound or the light. So keep that in mind. The other thing... And
the light is the brightest light in the entire room.
Yeah.
You'll see when we've talked about throughout this video how dark these rooms are. The brightest light is the vanity light, and it will literally just blind the person in bed because there's no way to shield your eyes, and the light glows right where your head would have to lay unless you laid reverse on the bed.
And the first room that we had was actually even darker than the room that we're in now. I think we
Yes.
would not be able to make this video if we were still in our original room because there was literally only 3 lights, I think, in that first room, and majority of them were like one bulbed.
Wall sconces.
Yeah, very, very dim lighting. So it felt very much like a cave. And even during the daytime when we had the windows open and the blinds completely open, it still was really dark in there.
Yeah, if I had to edit during the day, I would actually have to turn this light on my phone to be able to see like the headphone jack in my computer to plug it in. It was not any bit helpful.
Yeah, it was just very, very dark. It felt very cave-like. Another downside to the first room was the bed size was a queen. So you're paying a little bit more to have a 1-bedroom studio, but the bedroom space that they're trying to utilize is so small, it can only occupy a queen-size bed.
And we don't actually think it was a real queen. We actually think it's like a camper queen. It was more like a full because we were literally right
Like
on top
this.
of each other. Whereas with this king bed, we have some space between us. And for my feet were hanging off the queen size bed. Yeah, so I am 6 foot and my feet were hanging off the edge of the bed.
Yeah, so those were kind of the big things. The water pressure in the first room was really weird. In the bathroom sink and the kitchen sink, the pressure was like really crazy. But when you went to go in the shower, it was very, very minimal water pressure.
Yeah, it's just a bad shower head in the first room. We were also missing a bunch of kitchen supplies. So if you were staying here like long term and planning on cooking, that was not an option in the first room. We had 1 glass and then we had this other glass
forks.
that was like
a wine glass.
It wasn't even
almost.
12 ounces. It was
Yeah.
like a 6-ounce glass. It was just
shooter.
ridiculously small. We had 2 forks, and that was like it.
Yeah,
it
and
was
when I
just-
brought it up to the front desk that perhaps we might be missing things in our kitchen, they were like, oh no, like that's how it's supposed to be. I'm like, ma'am, this is not my first time at an extended stay.
Again, the staff's not helpful.
They just didn't care.
And talk about when we talked about the bed. So we moved rooms because the bed was like sleeping on a board that had lumps in it. It was horrible. It was
Yeah.
probably as bad as our Arizona one. If you want to check out that one was probably just as bad.
I
as
think the
this one.
only thing that made the Arizona one better than this one is that one was at least a king, and we were trying to squeeze ourselves in that tiny bed that wasn't comfortable, so it was like a double whammy with
Yeah.
that first one. So I was waking up with even more shoulder pain. Gary was waking up with back pain. I'm like, we still have at least a week left here. There's no way that we're gonna make it a week in this room. So I had called that morning and asked if we could be switched, but they were fully booked for the night, so we had to wait a whole day. Again, going back to the customer service before we could get moved to another room, and they didn't offer us anything for having to wait an additional 24 hours.
That's not even the worst part about it. When she called them, they weren't even surprised. They were like, "Oh, is it the bed that sinks in the middle, or the
Yeah.
lumpy one?" So this isn't an uncommon thing here. This is pretty
Yeah.
usual for the staff. They didn't even question it. They changed our room as quickly as they could. Obviously, it was booked.
Yeah.
It was just like, "Oh, that's good to know that you really have really bad beds and you just don't care."
So we did finally get moved to our new room. And I had to work that day, so Gary had to kind of take on the moving situation himself. And
We were guaranteed a room with a fireplace. We didn't get a fireplace. Not a big deal to us because we weren't
Yeah.
going to use it either way. But it's kind of frustrating when they're like, "Oh, we'll move you to a nicer room with a fireplace,"
and then nothing.
and then they shaft us. And we also don't know what they're charging us for this room. They could be charging us the fee for the 1-bedroom, or they could be charging us the loft.
Yeah,
We don't
they
actually
didn't-
know yet.
We won't know until we check out.
So that's going to be a whole nother fight, and we're not going to update whether that happens or not. We'll put it in the comments, so make sure to check those comments below. We'll let you know there. But talk about frustrating. We got into this room. The lighting was better, that's for sure. So
Yeah, the
it's
lighting
kind of
is
nice.
definitely better in this room. And even during the daytime,
Yeah.
it gets better sunlight in the room, so you definitely don't feel as cavey in here.
Still dark though. I don't know why they put dark paints everywhere. And then the shower head. The shower head is a lot nicer here.
But the shower's smaller.
But the shower is smaller and it has like weird shelves. So again, if you're tall
You're-
like
you're
me,
kind of, like,
or like
squeezed
big,
in
yeah.
there.
If you throw an elbow out, you're gonna just jam it right into this concrete slab that they have. It's almost impossible to close the door. Like I showed you in the video, and I did this walkthrough. If you're sitting on the toilet, you can't close the door in either room. So it's stupid. It's poorly designed.
And
really.
then the fun thing about this room is 2 nights ago, because this is one night, was it last night?
Yep.
Yeah, last night. It developed an odor.
So I was sitting at the computer editing, doing my thing. Nacy was working. And all of a sudden, I just got this whiff of something. I thought, well, one of our windows is open to try to let some cool air in. And it just didn't go away. And it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. I go into the bathroom, and there's sewer smell coming out of the toilet. So it's flushed. So it was clean water in there. And the sewer smell just backs up and sniffs into the room. So I called downstairs. Again, we're not surprised at all when I called them. She's like, oh, this has happened before. So I was like, okay, this happened before. This should be an easy fix then. She comes upstairs with a bottle of Febreze. I mean, it wasn't technically Febreze, but that's what it was. She sprayed it in a couple spots on the floor, and you can even start smelling it now. It's starting to come back tonight again. That basically just covered up the smell temporarily. And by covered up the smell temporarily, I got a huge headache and then just went and worked out for a couple hours and came back, and the smell had at least aired out some from the room so that we could go to sleep. It's disgusting. It's absolutely ridiculous.
And they were supposed to send a plumber today. And
of course they didn't. But that's, again, customer service has been absolutely zero at this hotel. Mm-hmm. Definitely check out that other hotel that Nacy stayed at. Great customer service. Wasn't the greatest hotel, but at least they gave a shit about you.
Yeah, the staff was friendly at the other one. The bed was semi-comfortable compared to here, and while the rooms weren't like this newly renovated room, I have to say, if I had to pick between this one and the other one, I would pick the other one over this one.
And a couple other interesting things here. There's a natural gas smell at night downstairs, kind of concerning. No one seems to mind it though, but it's constant, like in the lobby area, especially around where the elevators are, it constantly smells like natural gas.
And it kind of goes all the way into the lobby.
Yeah, so it's very weird and kind of concerning. It doesn't go into the gym though, which we'll talk about as kind of a pro of this place. It did have a nice gym. And then on game days, this is a college town. So if you're here, you're probably here for games. You get some rowdy people on the weekend. Last weekend, we saw a man break up with his girlfriend or have a huge fight. He was yelling from the parking lot, "Baby, don't do this to me." And she's just locking the keys behind him.
Yeah, he came into the room. He's like, "Hey, you still up?" And I was like, He's like, "You're missing all the stuff." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "People are fighting in the parking lot." And I'm like,
"What?" The front
"What?"
desk people were like, "We're going to call the police if you don't leave." I mean, it was absolute chaos. And that was the second person. When I went down there the first time, I saw that strange guy in the lobby who asked me if I worked here for some reason.
Craziness. Absolute, utter craziness.
And I think the last thing that we want to talk about negative-wise is the app on the TV is a frustrating piece of shit.
Yeah.
It constantly, like we plug our Roku in, you have to plug it into this like special box. The downstairs staff can turn your TV on, raise and lower the volume without even being in the room. So it's really freaking weird. And your Roku or your Fire Stick, you have to plug it into that. And to get to the actual menu to use your Roku or Fire Stick is a pain in the butt too. So it's not like an easy just turn on, switch the inputs. You have to do a lot more work to get there. And it's just such a waste of time and such a stupid thing. And then when you turn it on, it's just ads about Marriott that have nothing to do with this hotel or area. They're talking about some dude in Italy. It's like, I don't care. If you had stuff about South Carolina
and
or
the other
something,
hotel
it would be
I stayed
useful.
at was also a Marriott, and they had the thing on the back of the TV, but I was able to just hit input and go over to the HDMI.
Yeah,
it was not an
doesn't work
issue.
like that here.
This one, it took us at least 30 minutes when we first got here to try and figure out how to actually get to the input screen.
And if you try to bypass the box, it'll lock out the TV so you can't raise or lower the volume. It's a great piece if you want to just annoy your customers.
And I don't understand the purpose of it. Like, I just don't.
Just to advertise to us about Marriott.
I don't understand it. But
Let's hit some of them pros.
yeah, let's talk about a few of the positives here. And it's, again, like, we don't want to be a negative Nancy's, but we do want to give you the honest truth about what we're seeing, because, you know, when you come, it's your money and you want to enjoy your time and you want to enjoy the space that you're in and not feel like, that you're wasting your money or you're not getting your money's worth. So.
Yeah, and you know by what we've said, these aren't nitpicky issues. I mean, you can argue that the door not closing and stuff are just minor issues, but a lot of stuff like sewer smell, the lack of give a shits from the staff, those are the things that are going to continue.
Yeah, those are big things.
Those are big things that are going to continue, whether it's us or whether it's somebody else coming to stay here.
Agreed. So what's some of the pros that you liked about the place?
So the breakfast is nice. It's not as good as some of our Anaheim hotels that we stayed at, but for like non-touristy areas, it's a pretty decent breakfast. I mean, they had grits, or they had like omelets, or they had like burritos.
We had French toast this morning.
We had French toast, so there's a little bit of change up there. The bacon didn't have any flavor, just FYI, but the sausages have been okay. The toast is always good, so it's definitely a nice variety for breakfast.
Yeah, they've got whether you're a meat eater or you're not a meat eater, they've got a lot of options down there, and it's a decent seating area as well. So you've got a lot of space to kind of sit out. It's well lit, and there's a fireplace down there. So if you just feel like going and having breakfast in front of a fireplace, it's always going, even when it's warm out.
Yeah, when it's warm out. The gym is also nice.
Yeah, I did really like the gym. It's majority of the not furniture, but majority of the equipment that's in there is new.
And it's a nice mixture between machines and free weights too, so you have the option of doing both, which is really nice.
And it's a big open spot, and on the cardio equipment, they all have TVs that you can plug into if you need to, if you want to watch the TV, or you can just listen to your own stuff. They have a whole wall of mirrors in there, so if you can, practice your form and do all that. And then the cardio equipment opens up into the front window, so you can pull the blinds down if you need to, and it's got space to do just kind of like some, like if you wanted to do yoga or you want to do Pilates, and like they've got some mats down there. So there's a lot of stuff down there. I will say the water tasted weird, but outside of that, it was good.
I didn't try that, so I can't comment on that. But the rooms do look nice. They may not be functional, and they are super dark. I don't know why they picked like dark paints and stuff, but the rooms do look nice after the renovations.
Yeah, the countertops kind of remind me of some of the newer apartments that we've been looking at. Other than the refrigerator, the appliances are new. It seems like the fixtures are new. Like the desk is new, and the couch that we're sitting on definitely is new. Why they haven't replaced the mattresses?
Or like the toilet seat. There's things that you really do question.
So maybe it's coming along. Maybe they're doing things in phases. But
no, according to the guy I heard in the hotel lobby when I was moving rooms, and I'm pretty sure he's the owner, said that all of this room are complete. So these won't be touched again. So what we're staying in is 100% done.
Interesting.
Yeah. Another positive though is it's right off the interstate.
Yeah.
It's really easy to get to. I mean, it's kind of annoying that you have to go a little bit further down and drive back to it, but honestly, it only takes a couple minutes at most. Really easy to access right off the interstate.
And there are several restaurants around it. Now, granted,
don't go to Cracker Barrel.
The restaurants aren't the greatest, but there is a Wendy's down the road. There's a Bojangles. There's a Sonic.
Which is open 24 hours, so that's kind of nice for this town.
Yeah. And there is a Cracker Barrel in the parking lot adjacent to us. And we will talk about Cracker Barrel probably on our podcast, and probably talk about our experience with Cracker Barrel. So if you guys haven't subscribed to our Patreon and want to kind of get some of the behind the scenes and kind of some of the crazy things that happen to us when we're out and about on our adventures, definitely check out our Patreon, because every month we talk about kind of what's happening in our lives behind the scenes and just kind of the craziness that happens. So definitely check out our Patreon.
So another positive too is that it's pretty comparable price-wise to other hotels in the area. So it's not the cheapest, it's not the most expensive, it's kind of the middle of the road.
Roughly, my rate, I believe, was like $135 a night, which is not the greatest rate, but not the worst.
Know that if you're going to a Gamecocks game and you're here for that, it is about a 20-minute drive, so it is a little bit of a distance, but you are, again, right off that interstate. And then I think the last really decent thing is there's a lot of parking here.
Yeah, there is a decent parking lot in the back, and then in the front, it's limited parking, but it doesn't seem to stop people from double parking in the fire lane.
Yeah, that's I guess that's kind of a negative. They do park in the fire lane, especially in the front. There's a ton of parking in the back, and for some odd reason, people are hesitant to park back there. All the doors are locked on the building all the time, except for one door, so that could be why. It could be a bad area. Just
don't have a key, but I would say like the parking situation is definitely really nice, because I've been at a few hotels that it is a struggle to find parking after a certain time, especially if you're in a tourist area, and especially if you're in a college town. Sometimes that can be a bit of a challenge. So that was definitely a positive for me as well. So if we run into any other issues, we'll definitely keep you guys updated.
Yeah, we'll put in those comments below, so make sure to check those.
But this is kind of our overall view of the Residence Inn here in the Fort Jackson, North Columbia area. So if you guys have ever stayed here, let us know in the comments below. And if you have any better recommendations.
Oh, please.
Like,
Please,
I
'cause
travel
we'll be
for
back
work,
here.
so I'm always open to any suggestions.
We are probably going to be back here in the next year.
Yeah.
So definitely would love some recommendations as to where to stay and what to do. What do you do here? Because we've basically run out of just about everything to do according to
Yeah.
like TripAdvisor and Yelp. So let us know because that would be awesome.
And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys like the video.
Hit that subscribe button.
And make sure you guys ring the notification bell after you subscribe because we do at least 3 videos a week. And for our legit holiday, we're doing a video every day. So you definitely don't want to miss out on all of the fun adventures that we have planned and going into next year. I mean, it's going to be great. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell because you're going to miss out if you don't. So, and it doesn't cost you anything either.
Yeah, so we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye, everybody.
Don't forget to check below for those organization links that we're highlighting each day this month of our legit holiday. It's got the donation link and to find out more information. So don't forget to like this video
Hit that subscribe button,
and ring the notification bell so you get notified when we do at least 3 videos a week.
and we'll come get you guys in the next one.
Ain't that the truth, baby Ruth?